Felipe here, transformational mindset coach, meditation coach here at Empathic Practice. And this is just one of a series of short videos, impromptu, to talk about reflections, perspectives, or one would say meditations. I find really hard sometimes to be strict on how we put our ideas out there, and I have like a ton of different journals spread out, and I started video series before, but now I feel like I have a much better purpose to what these videos are for, as many of our clients have come to us looking for more guidance and perspective in spiritual matters. I think it's interesting to put out there these conversations and get out of just my comfort zone by pointing this out. And the conversation that I want to start today is about light and shadow. So I'm in a very dim room right now, creating this video just to talk with you about what is the purpose of light and shadow. When we talk about spiritual awakening and enlightenment, those words tend to bring to surface the idea of light, of coming out of the shadow, and I think it's aligned with the discussion that Plato started so long ago with the myth of the cave, where, for those who are not familiar, people were living in a cave in obscurity, just looking at the shadows that were projected on the wall, and imagine that was the reality of the world outside that cave. Very similar to actually how we live these days, looking at sorts of media as the only source for the reflection of what is the world. And then one of those cave people decided to venture themselves outside the cave and look at what was really the world outside. And when they went outside, they were first blinded by light, and as their sight got used to, their vision gets used to the environment, they start noticing the beauty of the world, the nuances, the different things, and they go out to explore the world for years until they go back and try to advise those that were in the cave about what was the world outside, that those shadows were a mere representation of it. And I think it's interesting talking about that because the people in the cave did not believe that what this person saw was true. And what this person really saw was not only beyond what they could imagine because they didn't have a reference, but then they are just dismissing completely what this person says. Go back to what is the experience of spirituality for one is completely different from what it is to other. And sometimes it's important to put in perspective that you may know more because of what you explore, but that person even that went on to explore the world, it only explored a portion of it. There was still a limited vision of it, and even through the excitement, it was hard to find someone to share that with. I think that we should think that their vision was as important as those ones in the cave, because the cave and the shadows, they were a representation of the unknown, the uncertain, and then you bring back to the light. Even the light itself was blinding, so you need the balance between the two to really understand what is going on. And even beyond knowing what it is in front of you is the experience itself that explains the nuances of life. I like to reflect on the light and shadow all the time because we keep talking about like light workers and people who work with the occult and the shadow magic or the black magic or however you want to describe that. But it's about like the things that are hidden and that there are not light shed on them. And so a reminder of like too much light, my blind one as well, that we need light to form in the shadows the object. And I thought it would be really funny to just show how different lights can create a subject in so many different ways, where one can look more mysterious or even creepier as much as more soothing and more inviting. So it all depends on how we shed the light in a subject to really form a different experience, a different perception, and even a different story. That's where I want to start this conversation. Let me know what you think. Let me know what is to you light and shadow. What is form? What is color? What is so important about the dimensions of reality itself within the perspective of one? What is your view from outside the cave?